It's week 16 in our year of stitches, and this week I'm going to be showing you a variation on a chain stitch. And now we're about to get into a series of variations on chain stitches. So if you don't know how to do a chain stitch, then it is worth going back and watching our earlier video on a basic chain stitch, as that's going to inform quite a few of the next videos as we go. Basically today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a back stitched chain stitch. And this is really as simple as it sounds. It is the combination of back stitch and chain stitch together. But what's quite good about it is remarkably effective in the finished result it creates. So in order to begin, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start my chain stitch. Now, as I said, do watch the separate video on chain stitch for this. But the way I do my chain stitch is a method called the link method, where I create myself a short little starter stitch. And then I pass my needle under the stitch. Now, the one difference I'm going to make here is rather than for a usual chain stitch, I quite often take the stitch quite tight. Instead, for the back stitch chain stitch, what I want to do is have a bit more control over my stitch and keep my chain stitch a bit looser, like you see here. And that you're going to see why that's effective later. But this does mean, as a method, it's a little bit more advanced because of the fact it's always hard tensioning your threads consistently. So I'm doing my chain stitch in a normal way, and I'm just going to pass my needle under here. Got my chain stitch. Don't worry too much about how neat the previous ones are, because we're going to go back in after. You'll see how I'm going to fix that later. So just doing my chains, but my nice big sort of loose chain stitch. So anytime you're doing something like this, where you're doing a bit more controlling the tension, i.e. you're not pulling it completely tight each time, it always takes longer doing stitches in this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video here, and I'm going to get a long line worked up for you so you can see how we do the next stage, but you don't have to watch me doing this slow and steady row of chain stitch. Right, I have now got a line of chain stitch in here, and so let me zoom you in on where I'm at. What I've done is I've now threaded up a contrasting colour, and actually I've threaded up with 6 strands for this bit because I do want my central back stitch to feel chunky. So what I'm going to do is as simple as it sounds. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to be adding a row of back stitch through the middle of this line of chain stitch. So I'm going to do my first stitch, and I come up in the middle of this loop and go back. Like this. And I pull my back stitch nice and tight as I go. So when the chain stitch and the back stitch are combined, what actually ends up happening is it almost looks as though you've got a second stitch woven around your first one. So in a future week, I'm going to show you a Pekingese stitch, which is where you effectively do something like that, where you create a line of back stitch and then you weave in and out and around it. The reason why this, though, comes out looking differently is you have a perfectly uniform round stitch this way. Your chain stitch is equal on both sides, whereas with something like a Pekingese stitch, where you are literally weaving in and out of a back stitch, you always have a different pattern on each side of the back stitch. And so it does create a different look to it. But you see now why you want to make sure when you do your chain stitch, you don't pull it too tight, because you do need to have this gap between each stitch so you can actually see what you're doing and you can see where to bring your needle up. And if you find you get to the point where you're here and you can't quite see, just loosen it up a bit. Now it's one to play around with a few times, because once you have done it once, you'll find there's things you wish you'd done differently. Like I felt like on this one that I was leaving plenty of space in my chain stitch, but now I'm going back over my back stitch. I wish I'd made my chain stitch even looser. So it's always like everything with embroidery. You only learn through trying, through practicing, and then you learn what you like and you don't like. But even if you've done a stitch before and you feel like you've mastered it, if you step away from it for a matter of weeks, months, you haven't done it for a while, you will need to refresh yourself. This is a technical craft and there are things you'll like and you won't like. And so it's always important just to bear in mind that you're learning as you go. So here we go. So then we get the end. And that is our back-stitched chain stitch. So you see, very simply, it's a combination of back stitch and chain stitch, but it's done in a way where we bring them both together so it looks like it's one single piece of stitching. I hope you enjoyed.